Thank you. Okay. So this is going to be about 30 minutes. Like I said, this is the actual Google Hangout for my team. But I decided to do it live on Periscope for whoever is just not around their computer or is not on my team and want to hop on. So I'm kind of like, sorry, I just got to block this person real quick. I'm not going to really be looking at Periscope. I'm going to be looking at the screen. I can't find it at all. Okay. So yeah, if you're on the Google Hangout, just like refresh your screen. Oh, wonderful. Glad you could join. Why are so many people crazy? Oh, it's looking like this. Okay, so it looks like my video link did not update. So let me update that. Set. Apply. Save. Oh, why are so many crazy people on Periscope? This is why I don't get on this crazy thing. Okay. Yes, they are so crazy. I can't deal with Periscope. Can somebody yo, Prince, these people on Periscope are crazy. Fucking perverts. They be like, suck your finger. Sex. Okay. So can you all never mind. If you're on my team in the group me, can you just go ahead and put the link? Because I can't click over the group me really quickly to do that. So it's the youngandfree.com/hangout. I don't see any viewers yet, so I'm assuming that it's not up and running. Can someone add the link to group me? I'm lost. Oh, I forgot I can log on to group me from my computer. What's up? What kind of group do you have? Groupme.com. Okay, good. Somebody put it up there. Login. All right, Periscope. I'm moving, y'all. Is that weird or? These People are crazy, y'all. Are you about to use your computer? Yeah. I don't got time to block all these crazy people. Hopefully they'll be gone in the next few minutes. Okay, so let me go to my Facebook page. Young and free. Okay, great. We have viewers. Wonderful. Okay, guys, so go ahead and let's get this party started. We're like 10 minutes behind. I'm getting ready to start a thread on our Facebook group. Actually, under the event that's on the Young and Free Facebook page, I'm getting ready to post something. Who's on the Hangout and where are you from? Okay, so if you could just go ahead and let me know who's on the line and where you're from. Same for you guys, Periscope. If you are checking in to get some strategies on how to build your 100s list, let me know who you are and where you're from. And then we're just going to kind of dig into this stuff. Okay, Baltimore, Louisiana, Rome, Georgia. Hi, guys. Hi. Welcome. ATL, Billy. Snellville. Hi, Nikita. Hi, Chrissy Boo. Okay, so before we get started, let's go ahead and make sure that everyone has a 100s list or knows where to get it from. If you're brand new to the team, I'm just going to share my screen really quickly and walk you through where to find your 100s list. Okay. All right, so I'm going to just minimize that. Okay. Okay, so this is your eSuite. In your document library, you can literally just type in the number 100 in the search bar and you'll see 100s list. Okay, and as you see, it's literally just like this contact list. Okay, so your 100s list is just another term for your contacts list. Okay, so today's hangout is really going to be about, number one, helping you all to understand why this list is so important. Okay, why it's key to growing your business. And then I'm going to actually share 15 strategies with you all. So for those of you all who have been with me for a while, let me just reintroduce myself. I'm Alina McCord, SDs, in case you have any brand new team members who've never seen my face or heard my voice. I'm a presidential diamond, and I'm pretty much over, for lack of a better term, the Young and Free, which is like a subset of the larger teams with It Works Global that I started about 2.5 years ago. And so this training is really specifically for my team members, but I've opened it up to other people in the company And even anybody who just in general in direct sales or network marketing wants to understand how to grow your list. So for those of you all that have been with me for a while, you know that there is one book that I recommend to a lot of people that really helped me when I first came into the industry, and it's by Mary Christian. It's called How to Be a Network Marketing Superstar. And to me, it just really laid the foundation for understanding the industry, some tips. It gave great analogies. And so she actually just came out with a brand new book. I pre-ordered it like a couple of weeks ago, and I started really digging into it this weekend. And so I'm going to be sharing a lot of the things that I gather from the books with team members, some of the things that are more specific to some of the leaders in our business. I'll be sharing those with you all as well. But one of the chapters that stood out to me was the chapter called Your Contacts List is King. So this is the book. It's called Be a Network Marketing Leader. This is her newest read, Mary Christian. And I'll put that Christensen. I just kind of said that wrong. I'll put the contact information on our group page. But chapter 8 is about your contacts list is king. A robust contact list is one of the keys to a healthy network marketing business. Team members complaining, I'm struggling to get appointments, should send chills down any leader's spine. When I read that, I was thinking like, oh my God, you just hit the nail on the head. And the thing is, I get it. But at one point, oh, sorry guys, I forgot about Periscope. It looks like this. It's called Be a Network Marketing Leader. I have to show it to Periscope. But one of the things that, and the thing is, like, I don't want y'all to feel like I'm like cringing, because I'm not cringing in a way that is unfamiliar to me. I'm cringing in a way that I totally know what you're going through, because at one point I didn't know that my contact list was that important. So much so that I got so many names, never had them organized. And I think about the thousands of people that I lost when I first started this business, just because I didn't know that even organizing them, staying on top of them, following up with them until they became a customer or distributor, I didn't realize how important it was to my overall success. So there are people that I have talked to, you know, over 2 years ago that I had one conversation with them, never wrote down their number, and never added them to any type of formal list. And so they're just like gone by the wayside, right? And so it's important that you understand that this is probably the number one thing in your business, is the way that I grow my business constantly, by literally organizing who I know, but making sure that I'm building onto that. Okay. And so it sends chills down leaders' spines, because it's not until you've mastered this skill that you can really grow your business. And so we're going to talk about what are some ways for you to do that. Okay. So network marketers whose calendars are blank are skirting dangerously close to the exit door. Their easiest option is always to quit, and most of them do. Half of all network marketers leave before the 3-month mark, and 4 out of every 5 leave within a year. Most of us that have been around can definitely agree with those statistics. Okay. There's a simple explanation for the highest dropout rate. For the high dropout rate, most distributors jumpstart their business through their inner circle of contacts. So that's like your warm market, right? And if they haven't mastered the art of creating new contacts before they exhaust supportive friends and family members, they will hit a brick wall in their businesses. The majority of them do not survive the crash. So basically, once you run out of your friends and family and they all tell you no, most people just give up at that point, right? And they never master the real skill that you need, which is growing your contact list and understanding how to work it, okay? So I'm giving you this background just so I can emphasize to the 10th power why you need to really consider this like your golden ticket in this business, okay? Expanding contacts and generating appointments, okay, should be one of the first skills new distributors master. Make it an integral component of your coaching program for new distributors, and a topic you view often. Okay. Industry averages, and listen to this average. Industry averages suggest that 10 calls will lead to 3 appointments, which will lead to 1 new team member. 3 appointments a week will lead to 150 new contacts in a year. Introductions and referrals will multiply that number many times. All right, so let's dig into the strategies, and I'm going to read off our strategies, and then I'm just going to kind of make them tangible and applicable for our business. Okay. Number 1, aim to add at least 1 new person to your contact list each day. You can't keep working a stale list. Okay, so number 1, most of us don't even have like a workable list, right? Like you probably printed off this list from the e-suite that we just showed you, and like it's literally chilling in some notebook, like probably in your business builder kit, and like you don't even know where it is, right? I literally had my 100s list like in the same folder for over a year. I personally do not use that loose leaf paper. I have a spiral notebook that I keep, and then I also have a note tab in my phone, because most of the times when I'm meeting people, I don't have my physical notebook, right? And so I literally just add their names and numbers, or I'm adding their name and their Facebook contact information or their Instagram handle in my phone, but then I go and I transfer it to my actual spiral notebook, just because that's something that I know will not get lost if I lose my phone, etc. So number 1, you should be physically adding to that list every day, but you can't physically add to the list if you don't have like a set list that you're working from, like pen to paper kind of thing. One of the things that I love that I heard a distributor talk about is she actually has like forms, and this is something that when I become more organized in my life in 2016, right? And Prince is like, yeah, right. Laughing at me, babe. All right. She literally has like a folder, and she's created a contact form. So anytime she has an interaction with someone on Instagram, like a comment, a DM, a Facebook message, anything, she's meeting them out, she goes and she gives each person a form. Okay. Balance that, hey. And one side is basically, people that she needs to follow up with that week, or maybe there are people that have already joined. I can't remember specifically. And then the other side of the folder is like people that have not signed up as a distributor or a customer. So literally, if you go to Word and you fill out a form, it could be something like name, phone number, Instagram name, and then it could just be like lines where you can write notes. Last talk to them about this. This is the product that they use. This is what we talked about over the phone. This is their budget. And basically, she just had like a whole folder just like full of forms. So when it's time for her to have, needs to meet a sales goal, or she's looking for distributors to close, she can just go through and start calling people, remember what they've already talked about, and she doesn't switch them to the other side of the folder until they've closed. That's something I've been trying to do in my life for the last 3 months. But I'm going to do that. But if you are already overwhelmed by that idea, just keep it simple and like grow your list through your notebook. Okay. Adding 1 person a day should be a goal. So literally like adding a name and a number. Okay. So that's the first strategy. First tip. That wasn't even really a strategy. That was just like a tip. Okay. I guess the folder thing was a strategy for helping you to get organized. Okay. And this goes into the same point. Number 2, make creating and maintaining new contacts a habit, like brushing your teeth. Like, do y'all even understand that? Like, how important is brushing your teeth? Like, to succeed in network marketing, growing your list is like literally, it has to be a daily, everyday habit, constantly trying to meet new people, right? So John Eric has already told us our business plan is what? Help my friends and make new friends. Make new friends. Help my friends is all the existing 100 people that you put on your list. Make new friends is adding that 1, 2, 3 people a day. Okay, so her second thing is make creating and maintaining new contacts a habit, like brushing your teeth. If you make 10 calls a day, 5 days a week, you'll be making 50 connections a week. So that's huge, right? Right. Okay. So 10 calls a day. And I think that the term calls could sometimes freak people out because that, like, we know that everybody, like, if in today's society, and Mary is like an old school network marketing. So like some of her things are up to date in this book, and she does talk about a lot of social media, but we do know like a lot of people never get on the phone and are still successful. So when she says make 10 calls a day, that's not necessarily you got to call them. That means reach out to 10 people a day. So that means Facebook message them, Instagram DM them, go comment on somebody's picture, like basically get in contact with them, text them, and, you know, have some phone calls. That needs to be 10 interactions a day, 5 days a week, 50 people, guys, okay? Make it a habit like brushing your teeth. Number 3, always have your antenna up for new contacts. If you're open, warm, and friendly, you'll meet people everywhere you go. So I talked about this on one of these calls that I did. Yeah, it's my reel here. Don't do me. So I talked about this the other day, but when we think about building our business in terms of strategy, it really does start with self, right? Because your attitude, your aura, your positivity, like those are things that you shouldn't have to overthink. Like you should just be living that kind of life, right? You should be living a life where people want to be around you, people want to experience you, they want to know you. You want to be a genuinely warm person, okay? Especially in this business. And don't just do it because of business. Do it because that's who you are. Be yourself. Be fun. Be engaging. But you do want to make sure that you're doing it in a way where it becomes a habit, right? So like when I go places, I'm constantly saying hello. I'm holding the door for people. I'm getting to know people. Like I just started going to a new dentist office. Thank you for recognizing that my teeth are significantly whiter than they were last week. So I literally start unnecessary conversations, and it's because I want to open the door to make new friends, right? So like the hygienist that was doing the hygienist that was working on my mouth, you know, there was no reason for me to start being inquisitive about her life or asking her questions, other than the fact that I really want to get to know people, because I know that that could lead to a relationship, which could lead to a business opportunity or product sold. A lot of times we're very surface level when it comes to talking to people, and we think, oh, you know, this person may not be ideal for what I'm looking for. But that's such a short-sighted vision, because a lot of times it's not the person that you're talking to that's going to change your life or grow your business. It's the people, it's the person that you're talking to. It's the people that they know, right? So it's like the people that they invite to their parties. It's the people that they tell about, oh yeah, I met this girl at the dentist that does, it works. Like it's the people that they know that a lot of times will end up being like your life changers, right? So like don't judge people so much or not talk to people so much where you're not expanding yourself to meet the people on the other side of who they know, right? So like I'm in the chair with her, and I just start asking her, like, you know, how long you been working here? You know, asking advice about flossing and creating a habit doing that. And I was telling her, yeah, I'm here getting my teeth whitened for my wedding. Turns out she was also a bride. She was getting married in November. And so literally over the 2 or 3 appointments that I had to go, we became friends. You know, like it got to the point where the first conversation, I didn't even mention my business. Like I didn't say anything about my business. I was just inquiring about her life, because it helps me to identify where I can like weave it into it. Like once I found out she was a bride, her fiance was a trainer, she's been trying to work out and lose weight. She has all these family members. They're doing a destination wedding, so they may need extra money. So it helps me to become more equipped about the conversation that I can have at a later date, because I know I'm going to be, you know, coming back to them or whatever. And so by my second appointment, it was an easy sell, because I was just like, oh, by the way, did I give you my card? And she was like, no, you didn't. What do you do? And I started telling her about what I do. And it was easy for me to give examples of why it could be great for her because I had already gotten to know her in the first appointment. And I was like, yeah, I know your wedding is in like 3 weeks, right? You said it was November, da, 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 da. She was like, yeah, you remember. And I was like, yeah, you know, I know that you don't have much time, but this could be ideal because it really helps to tighten the tone in certain areas. And I know a lot of brides like to focus on their arms or whatever, like go for it. And so that is a practical example of you overextending yourself to talk to everybody wherever you are, because those are people that become your contact list, right? She ended up becoming a customer. She ended up sending me her other cousin who's getting married, right? So once again, the people that they know, and all of those people have been added to my physical contact list. Even if they become a customer, sometimes it's great to keep them on that list because you can also reach out to them for referrals, okay? Number 4, immediately capture new names from every event or encounter on your phone. And we just talked about that, right? A simple way to do it is to hand over your phone and say, put your name and number here. So if you call me, I'll know it's you. Send a text within 24 hours saying, it was a pleasure meeting you, adding your first and last name to the text. Now, I was telling someone the other day that I actually don't ask for phone numbers anymore. Like I will, if the person, you know, a lot of times I'm offering appointments on the spot, or I'm setting up parties on the spot. Like if we're having that kind of conversation and it's just going to be, you know, if I know like they're pretty much 95 or better percent in, like I'm exchanging information, we're setting up times to talk, etc. But if it seems like a person that, you know, is a little skeptical, or they're in a rush, or they just are kind of weird, like especially people that are like our age, like, you know, younger crowd, like they're not too keen on phone calls. They are not as comfortable giving out their number. Also, what I realized is that, and I was talking to you, Fallon, about this now that I remember. What I realized is even people that are comfortable giving me their phone number, like nobody answers their phone anymore. You know, like most people are screening calls. I'm guilty of it too. And so something that has helped me significantly is going straight for the social media accounts, because it's also not as, hey Detroit, it's not as personal, it's not invasive or whatever, and everybody loves a new follower, right? So I'll say something, you know, very informal, like, oh, are you on Instagram, or are you on Facebook? I normally do Facebook because Facebook to me is easier to have a conversation, because it's just ideal for messaging and relationships or whatever. They can see my life, I can see their lives, blah blah blah. If they're on Instagram, they may be private. But a lot of times I'll ask them, which platform do you use more? And based on that, I'll decide where I want to send them to. The whole grab their phone thing is a technique that totally I do. Like I'll say, oh, you know, are you on Facebook? And I'll say, let me see your phone really quickly. I have a hyphenated last name, super hard to find. And they'll say, oh, okay, cool. I'll pop in my name and send myself a friend request from their phone, because at that point, like I know that I have their contact information versus me sending them a request and then they have to approve me and all of that stuff, right? So I'll do that in the friendliest casual way, because, you know, mind you, I've had a conversation with them where they know that I'm not a weirdo and I'm kind of just talking to them. Get the contact information, and then like she suggests, within 24 hours, I'm sending them something. Normally a good segue is me telling them, oh, you know, I've given them my card, I've shown them what I'm selling, and then I'll say, you know what, I'm like in a rush, I don't want to keep you from what you're doing. Let me tag you to a video that's going to show you everything that I'm talking about, or let me tag you to my website so that you can check out some products. And then I'll say, are you on Facebook? And I'll say, good, I'll tag you right now. And so what I'll do is within 24 hours, I'll tag them to my video that talks about the business, or I may tag them to a post that talks about how to rap, or whatever, you know, we've kind of talked about that day, a hair peel post. And then a lot of times I'll direct message them and say, great meeting you. Let me know when you want to, you know, when you're going to let me get a rap on you, you know, when I can meet up with you. So that's something that I do all the time. I normally do that at least once a day. Okay. At least if I'm out and about, sometimes more. Number 5, regularly contact your contacts. They're called contacts for a reason. Okay. So this is something that also takes organization. Once again, if you don't have an easily accessible contact list, or you just have all your contacts sitting in your social media and you don't have any, you don't own them outside of that, sometimes it's hard to see who you haven't talked to in a while. John Eric, in our 100-day social media adventure, they actually, he talks about this tool for like, what's that tool I was telling you about? Let me look. The one that John Eric has like a scheduling app that he talked about. And I was like, I never heard of it before. Hold on, let me pull it up. So I'm just going to It Works You, and then the 100-day social media adventure. Contactually. So there is a service or app called Contactually, which basically, if you import or manually put in your contacts, it will let you know when you haven't talked to them in a while. Like, oh, and this is for both friends, families, customers. Like, you haven't talked to this person in a while. You need to check on them. Or this person's birthday is coming up. Or this person has been a customer for 1 month. Check in with them to see, you know, how their things are going. That's another 2016 goal for me. I literally just saw this video that he put up like last week. So that could be a really cool way for you to get organized about keeping in touch with people, because that's something that we lose a lot of customers, their referrals and their add-on orders, just because we're not staying in contact with them as much as we could, right? Okay, so that was number 5. Number 6, don't be impatient for instant results. Relationships grow over time and with regular contact. Intersperse your sales calls with interesting news, tips, and information. Someone who is always in sales mode can become tiresome very quickly. So I love that point, because first of all, we hate being in sales mode all the time, right? Like, no one wants to feel like they're working 24/7. And so we take for granted that just being like cool people and likable people is what we get paid for, which is genius. I mean, this is why this industry just makes sense, right? Because you're getting paid for being you and talking to people and making friends. But like, don't forget that, right? So when you're out and you're talking to people, provide value to people, especially through social media. Like, if you're the type of person that reads blogs all the time, reads, you know, US news, and you see an interesting story, like, share that with people. You know, that was something that I got a lot of feedback on, from the most random people. Like, people will say to me, I come to your page every week just for, like, you know, the latest news on Beyonce. Or like, they would be watching like an award show and they would like come to my page just to like crack up on like memes from that, right? And it was like a source of entertainment for people, but it made people have relationship with me. Like, I can't even tell you how many people I feel like are my besties from social media just because we have the same obsession for the queen, right? And those people have become my custom. It's not funny, it's for real. Like, people
for the who?
The queen. But like, people really appreciate you for the things that you love. Or like, you know, I have friends that, well, not my real friends, but like my social media friends, just because we had babies around the same time, or because we all like obsess over French fries. Like, people will tag me, like strangers will tag me and post on social media about French fries, like, oh, Alina, like, this made me think about you. You know, so it's like, because I constantly am like being myself and putting my personality out there, people that have similar interests, they connect with me, and it totally has nothing to do with It Works, you know, and I'm not pitching them on something, and that's not how they became my friend, right? So make sure that you're building relationships, and don't be impatient. Like, one of the things we talked about on Thursday at my home training event was that a lot of times your customers that you, like, say it's November, most of the customers that I get in November are from conversations that I've had in previous months, September, October, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so don't think that just because you're getting on the phone with someone today they got to become a customer today. You know, like sometimes people just want to get information. They want to think it over. They want to put it in the budget for next month because they've already spent their, disposable income for this month. Don't be impatient. But if you're talking to people every single day, you don't have to worry about closing everybody on that day because you've already talked to people, from the previous month. You know what I mean? If you're brand new, a lot of times you'll see that the people that you talk to will kind of jump on board because they're like your warm market. And your warm market doesn't have to think about it as long because they trust you. Like that's the benefit of a warm market, is that they don't really have to do research, or they don't have to go and get all of these opinions because they know you, and that element of trust has already been established. That's also the same thing with referrals. Like you can talk to somebody for the first time, but because they like knew your husband or knew your coworker, they like trust you when they sign up, right then and there. But when it comes to like straight cold people or people that you've met, that don't really know you, you've met at the store or you've blitzed or whatever, like be patient with them. Okay. Number 7, make a follow-up call after every sale and send a thank you message every time a customer places an order through your online store. This is mandatory. Showing your appreciation is the way to elicit repeat business and referrals. So this is something that I started doing last year that's been huge for me keeping up with my customers, right? Because we know, especially in our business, when you place customers, you lose them in your system. So sometimes it's hard to know like where your customers went. So what I do is anytime I get a new loyal, I immediately send them a welcome email. My welcome email introduces myself again. It thanks them for choosing me as their distributor. And then it walks them through how they should be using their product. If they've joined any of my 90-day challenges, it's getting them hooked up with our private Facebook groups. I also send them videos, if they decide to wrap, on how to wrap. And it makes it easy for me to go back to my sent mail in my inbox and see, okay, who started their journey 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and just shoot off like 10 emails at once. Like, hey, see, you're at your 30 days. How's it going? Hey, send me pictures of what's going on with this, whatever. So that's something that, before I would get a loyal and it would take me forever to send an email or whatever, and then it would get lost and I'd be like, where are they? So as soon as I sign someone up, or as soon as I get the message from It Works saying that I have a new loyal, I immediately go and send out my welcome email. Okay. Number 8. Treat yourself. Oh, and also that welcome email is where I include the loyal customer referral program. So say for whatever, they sign up on their own. Or I didn't get to mention it to them during our initial call. I also will put their share link in my welcome email, and I put it in bright red letters like get free product, learn how to get free product, must be done within your first 30 days. And I kind of just show them this is the link that you share, this is what you can get, and I attach the loyal customer referral program flyer. Okay, number 8, treat your auto shipment or subscription customers as VIPs. Let them know how much you appreciate their loyalty, ask for their feedback, and check in monthly to inquire about their progress and offer encouragement. Send them regular tips and usage suggestions, and invite them to special events such as new product previews. So this is something that I was really good about pre-pregnancy, pre-Parker. I'm not as good about it anymore, but can't be good at everything, right? I've gotten better at other things though, right? So one of the things that I used to be really good at is I would send out a loyal customer newsletter at least once or twice a month. And that to me really just helped to keep them in the loop. But it was great for them with products that they may have already purchased to just get re-engaged, excited about them again. So I started doing very concise newsletters. I started out doing a lot, and I saw that people weren't even opening them or they weren't clicking through. So I started literally just doing something called Look Who's Getting Results. That's my newsletter. And in it, I would include 2 or 3 before and after pictures from each of the products that my customers were using. And these were my customers or my team members. So I was able to share their story. And what that did is that got people really excited about seeing real people get real results, and encouraged them to re-engage with their products again. It also helped them to come back to me and say, hey, I saw this girl use this product. What is that about? Or what is that? Things that they may not have known that we sell. You know, I also always send out information to them when we have new products. So like the essential oils, they got an email about anytime we have BOGO. So, you know, one of the things that I use is MailChimp. So MailChimp is where I like put all of my leads, you know, all of my pages that I have a subscribe list to, they get sent right there, so that when it is time for me to send out a newsletter, it's very easy to just go to MailChimp. You know, it's drag and drop, put in a few things, put a few pictures up and send it out. And I grow that list all the time. Okay. Number 9, spend more time in your local community. The greater your presence, the easier it will be to make new connections. The more frequently people see you, the stronger their trust will be, especially if you show an interest in them long before you start trying to get them interested in you. Okay. We kind of talked about that whole getting to know them first, but I do think it's important that we, as marketers, get out there, right? So, just being places. And it doesn't have to be, you know, a networking event. It could be at a happy hour, a brunch, a play, a book club. You know, you can serve on a board in your community. You can volunteer with certain organizations. Like, these are things that you should be doing anyway to serve others, right? Because that's like our whole purpose here on this earth, is to serve others, right? To bear good fruit, right? Like, that's the bigger picture anyway. And so the fact that we have a business that aligns with that is just icing on the cake. So in general, right, I can always remember my mom when I was applying for colleges and when I was in high school, and really even in college when I was trying to become a Delta, she would always say, Alina, the Deltas are looking for a well-rounded individual. Colleges are looking for a well-rounded individual. It's not enough to just be smart. You know, it's not enough to just have a good GPA. And I used to be like, what? And, you know, it's because people want to be around people that are cool. You know, like, nobody cares about your GPA for real. They want to know if we have to, you know, even jobs, right? When we were interviewing candidates at my job, it was like, we got to be in this building for 18 hours a day. Who do we want to be around? You know, and based on your experiences, you have more to talk about. You're friendlier. You know how to adapt to different people, right? So the well-rounded individual doesn't just focus on it works. The well-rounded individual, you know, is involved in their church. They're involved in things with their kids. They're getting out and they're doing things that get them around people with common interests, like cooking groups, mommy groups, you know, fitness clubs. Okay. So you want to be the type of person that, you know, has different facets. Okay. And in those different facets, like, you meet people and those people can potentially become, you know, a part of your business, right? And it's going to allow you to know and meet more people. So I would encourage you all to just expand yourself. We always talk about how growth in this business, it starts with you and personal development, and those soft skills and just getting out there and doing fun things is going to be essential in this business. Like, this business will force you to get out of your shell, you know, and some of that can be completely online. You know, if you are the person that can't physically leave the house because you got a newborn or whatever, like, go and join some groups on Facebook. Like, it's millions of online communities, you know, that allow you to talk to people that have hangouts just like this and have calls, etc. Okay, number 10, let people know who you are and how to find you. Turn your car into a moving billboard for your business. Always carry a stack of business cards, samples, and brochures. So this is something that, you know, and it works. We are like number one, right? What's the number one way that we go out and do that? Wearing our gear, carrying our Blitz cards, our car magnet, like walking billboard. You know, like, obviously it's also great when we have results from our product. So, you know, people want to know why your hair looks like that, why your skin looks like that. Oh, I just thought you had a baby. Why are you so whatever? But having that gear on, like I told you guys, Monday through Friday, you better believe that I'm wearing It Work stuff. We're going out of town for the holidays. And of course, as I'm packing my clothes for the airport, it's got to be It Work stuff. Like, I'm never getting on a plane not in It Work stuff, because the airport is like a number one way to meet people from all around the world, right? So I never travel without wearing It Works gear. I have an It Works bracelet that come in our business builder kit that I wear everywhere. You'll be surprised how many people, ask me, what is that bracelet? And I stack it with some cute fashion jewelry. So they may start out asking about that jewelry, and then I transition to, oh, by the way. So always have stuff for your business. Okay. Number 11, if your contacts list is a mess, work on it for 30 minutes a day until it's fixed. Sloppy record keeping invariably leads to sloppy performance. Love that. So, if it's a mess, it's probably a mess because you're super busy and you just don't have, 5 hours to clean up a list of 1,000 people. Take it in increments. Like, I challenge you to take it in increments. If you don't even have a list, start working on it today. Like 30 minutes a day, really focus on cleaning it up so that you have a true system to build on. So you know what's what. So you know, who you haven't contacted, who you need to build on, etc. Number 12, think outside the box for ways to generate new contacts. Opportunities are everywhere. Sometimes you have to dig deep to find them. Okay. I love when team members can share ways that they, got new contacts. Going back to the online Facebook groups, that's something that I still have not done yet, and it excites me because I've been in this business almost 3 years, and there are things that I still haven't done yet. So that lets me know that I'm still in business for a few more years because I have so many other mediums that I can continue to grow on. So, for example, somebody was telling me how they really dig into Facebook groups in terms of meeting people. And that doesn't mean they're going into these Facebook groups and spamming people. It means that they're taking advantage of people that have similar interests, right? So like Facebook graph search, if you go to Facebook search bar and you type in graph search in the search bar, it'll bring up an app in Facebook basically that allows you to type in certain things. Like, that's something that I used to do when I was looking for people for my focus group when I first launched my app, and we wanted people to come and test it out, but we wanted different people from different backgrounds that like certain things. So what I would do is I would go to graph search on Facebook and I would put in, women under the age of 35 that live in Atlanta, that like mobile phones, that like online shopping. Like, you can get that specific, and it will pull up like a list of like 100 people. And then I just started messaging those people like, hey, we have, this group going on, this new app, blah, 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 whatever. And when they got there, I was like, yeah, like, you were one of the people that I typed in, like, you can even type in books. Like, I think I typed in people who have read Think and Grow Rich. Because in my opinion, if someone's read that, they already have the mindset that's needed for my business. So that's a great way to start identifying people. Sometimes you don't have to specifically message them. You may just see, like, it'll show you like what groups they're a part of, what their interests are, and maybe you can just hop in those groups and start kind of seeing what kind of people they're around, because there's probably some other potential people. Also, it's millions of groups out there. Find groups that you're interested in. Don't just stick with the basic mom groups, exercise group. Like, find, the groups of people that are vegans or like are foodies, but also want to look good, like whatever, people that, love studying Proverbs and the Bible. Like, there's so many different types of groups out there. So when you get into the group, the goal is to start building a relationship. Like, I have a girlfriend of mine who's in a mommy group with me. And she's just genius. I hope that she knows what she's doing. I'm pretty sure that she knows what she's doing because she's an entrepreneur. She's a smart girl, but she has like an online like personal training business. She has several books about like nutrition. She has a huge YouTube page. But basically she's in all of these mommy groups because she just had her first child. And literally every single day she posts stuff in these groups. And these things have nothing to do with her business. It's just like genuine posts about breastfeeding, mommy life, crazy, husband issues and them not understanding breastfeeding, to the point where, like, I guarantee you everybody on that group like knows this girl because she posts every day. And it'd be hilarious stuff of her just being like, yo, this baby about to suck the life out of me. Okay. But what that does is it makes it where people become so familiar with her that the first thing that they're probably going to do is send her a friend request. Okay. Once they get to her personal page, they then are going to see into her life, and they're going to see, oh, she's an online coach. She has a new book out about nutrition when it's not fun to eat healthy. And what are they going to do? They're probably going to go to her blog. They're probably going to click on her link, buy her book. And she probably has a ton of customers from that group. Like I would be surprised if she doesn't, like I've gone to, and I know her, and so never once has she mentioned her business. Or she'll also do things where like she'll take pictures of like herself breastfeeding, but by the way, she has a 6-pack and her son is only like 5 months. So of course, most people are like going to her page to figure out like, what has she been doing to get this 6-pack? She never has said anything about her business, but she's basically building a rapport and making friends just by being herself. Okay. And so that's the same approach that like one of the girls on our team does. She goes into groups that that she loves, makeup, and she'll comment on other people's posts, even if she's not posting in the group. She'll comment on their posts and say, oh, I love that lipstick. Where'd you get it from? And they'll go back and forth in the comments. And then she says she strategically will segue into their private message and say, oh, I don't want to continue getting on people's nerves. Let's just chat here. And they'll continue conversing about whatever they're talking about. And then eventually she said, so what do you do? Because she knows at some point they're going to ask her, well, what do you do? And literally this girl signs like 15 distributors a month. Okay, just off of Facebook groups. And I haven't even touched Facebook groups yet. Okay, and I have a massive team. So to know that there's still strategies out there to like build your list and your contacts, it's like the internet never sleeps. And that's just like one subset. Like think about the international markets that we're expanding into. Like if you just focus on, Germany for 1 month and getting in groups and finding friends, like you could probably start a whole business in another country. Okay, just creative ideas, like get creative, guys. And she just kind of gives some examples. I'm not going to go through those. 13, sponsor a junior sports team. Your investment will be small, but you are almost guaranteed to meet the parents. Being involved in family activities will demonstrate that you represent a family-first business more convincingly than any "we're a family-first business" tagline. Now, I thought that was a very interesting idea. Sponsor a junior sports team. So I think in general, just sponsoring anything, and really kind of letting people know like where your interests are, what you're committed to is always going to be good, because people, are going to love the fact that you're contributing to something beyond yourself. I know like my girlfriend did like a breast cancer awareness brunch that's like her second annual, was become very big. And I was a sponsor for that. Like I just put stuff in their grab bags, and even though that was directly about my business, it also helps to sponsor her event because that's a cause that I'm interested in. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think, like there are other things that you can do. Like, people are always looking for advertisement and like cotillions. Like I've done that, like put my business card on half-page ads. Literally just getting out there and like having your brand or your family, give back. And then, just becoming a part of something, like a Girl Scout troop. Like that's something that's gotten me some business. Is I volunteer for this Girl Scout marketing committee, and believe it or not, a lot of the things that I do it works as far as social media, completely are things that can be done for the Girl Scouts of Georgia when they're trying to build their followings, when they're trying to get more interaction on their advertisements, because guess what? I live that life every day. And so I'm on this marketing committee as an expert on how to, get organic growth through social media, how to engage different people, and a lot of people in the room work for corporations and I'm just an individual, and they want to know, well, how do you know all of this stuff? What do you do? And I tell them, and I've had several women that have become my clients just because I volunteered to help people, with their marketing for such a huge organization that I was a part of my entire life. Okay. 14, ask for introductions and referrals, but be specific. If you are selling performance products, ask for an introduction to someone who works out, loves the outdoors, plays a sports, or is in training. But don't be clumsy. Offer a sample or trial and ask for feedback. Take your time. Okay. So this is something that especially during my period where I couldn't really go out and market my business like in the streets or do much, like right after I had the baby and when I was in, like in the last stages of my pregnancy, like a lot of my business came purely from referrals. Like that's the beauty of making sure that you're following up, giving customer service, helping people get great results, keeping them connected. Because if you could never leave your bed, you should be able to stay in bed for an entire month. I'm snoring all on my person. You should be able to stay in bed for at least 30 days and like get customers just off of your referrals, like just off of going to people and saying, hey, do you know any friends that would love to grow their hair out? Or, what I do is I always will check in with people like, you never send me your pictures, or how are things going? Send me a picture. And if they have really great results, like I had a girl who had really great hair results, and I was like, do you mind sending this to like 5 of your friends? Like, you already got the picture. Like, do you mind sending it to your friends and seeing if they'll be interested? And she was like, yeah, no problem. And of course, we have the referral program. So if they do it in their first 30 days, they can actually get free product. Even if they're outside of their 30 days, sometimes I will, offer them free product if they bring me enough customers. I also get creative with referrals. Like I'll say, do you mind if I use your like what I did was, you guys know I have a blog. So like I asked the girl, like, look, you're always referring people to me. You love your results. Do you mind if I feature your results on my blog? And she was like, absolutely not. So of course, if you tell somebody they're being featured on a blog or a post or even on your page, they get super excited. They repost your post to their page. And guess what that does? That makes it where you're now in front of thousands of new people because they follow, most people follow her because she has great hair, or she just has friends that you don't have. I literally, every time this girl would post, would get like 5 or 6 hair peel customers just off of her referrals, right? So it's essential that you're staying in contact with people. But sometimes, just reach out to them and say, do you have people for me? You know what I mean? Or like if it's people that just are not ready to do the business, even though they would be great, if they have great results with the products, say, you love the products. I know you're not ready to start your business yet. Who in your family would be really great at this? Or who out of your circle is like, a stay-at-home mom or the ultimate hustler or the people person, and they'll say, oh, like my cousin Jenny, she's great at this. I've had plenty of distributors that were like referrals to me. Like I had a girl from college call me on 3-way with her cousin and was like, yeah, my cousin need to make some extra money. Like I told her that you help people make extra money. I was like, great. And we like find a cousin now. Okay. Referrals, work the referrals. And then lastly, add and guests. Okay. So the words and guests to every social and business invitation. The more people you meet, the more money you will make. Okay. So that's just like a very simple trick, but something that's huge. Like if you saw my opportunity call posted out on social media, I always say tag a friend, hop on the line with a friend. If I'm doing a wrap party, bring a guest and receive, a wrap free. Like the more people you can get, and everybody likes to do things in pairs or in a group. Make sure that you strategically always add in friend and guest or whatever, because it's just going to expand the amount of people that you can get to your stuff. Okay. So in this book, they actually have like a list of like 300 thought-provoking ideas. So like on It Works, they give us about 100 different, that list that says accountant, acquaintances, active person, adult. Like it gives you ideas of people that you know. This book actually has like 300. So it may, be worth checking out and really thinking about who you know and who they know and who they know. Okay. All right. So take your contacts list seriously, guys. Like get them out, get the physical list. I encourage you to like go and like start that little folder thing that I talked about and really own it. Like make sure that you master this, because the benefit is like when you need to hit your quota of 4 customers a month, if you have a list of 400 people, you always got something to go back to. Like you may go down a list of 400 in September and only 5 people sign up, but there are like 40 other people on that list that want the product but just didn't have the money in September. So when you go back through your list of 400 in October, guess what? Those other people are then going to sign up. And it just kind of goes like that month to month. Like some people are not going to be ready this month on your list. The other half of the list will be ready next month. If you have a list, you are in business, okay? And as long as you're reaching out to people, growing your list, setting up calls with people, right? Because obviously if you have a list of 400 people, you're not calling all those people a day, okay? You're calling 10 people a day. You're messaging 10 people a day, trying to get 1 or 2 calls for the next day, right? Same thing with Instagram direct messenger. You know, I may send out 30 messages following up on the people that have liked my picture. Out of those 30 messages, I may get 3 hits. That's all I need. You know, like I just want to get 3 good hits of people setting up calls with me so that could maybe turn into at least 1 customer. Okay. I talked about, I shared my auntie Shaquita, who's like fully charted for Diamond. She went Ruby 2 months ago. She literally has like 6 pages. All right. So as she's growing her business, she doesn't have a problem, you know, getting customers to help her team out because she got a list of people that she can go to, you know, and all of these people on the list she hasn't called, but it's just the fact that she's written it down. So it's like she has no worries that she can get customers, because it's like out of these people, somebody gonna want something. You know what I mean? Because we got the hottest products on the market. So create the list, okay? Create the list and work the list. All right. We got something big coming out on Friday. We don't know, double something. If it's double fast start, it's going to be huge, because that means that not only will you be able to get 100, but 200 guaranteed. That's going to be the perfect time for you to start going down that list and just blasting out phone calls, dialing for dollars, as we call it, to see who's ready to earn some extra income, who's ready to try the products, so that you can hit those requirements for getting whatever the double is, okay? Do not wait until Friday to put your list together. Put your list together tonight, tomorrow, and start getting those calls set up, you know. And over the holidays, talk to everybody. If you're traveling, have your Blitz cards on you. Have your lanyard on you if you don't want to take physical cards everywhere. Like that's what I'm going to do. Instead of having my cards, I just have my lanyard so that I can just talk to people about it and, you know, get their contact information. You know, at Thanksgiving dinner, have, you know, a bottle of Fat Fighters on the table. Like my auntie was good for that. She was like really good for that. Like she would have all of the It Works products that people could use at Thanksgiving dinner. She had Fat Fighters out, greens, energy drinks. And she would even have out like product sheets at our Thanksgiving dinners. Like have your arsenal up, because it's going to be people out and about wherever you go. Take advantage of it. Okay. All right, guys, it's 10 o'clock. We did good on timing. Wonderful. So enjoy your holidays. And I hope that you all have a good Thanksgiving. If you have any follow-up questions, post it on the group and I'll try to answer it over the next day. All right, bye.